How's it going, Preston? Here is a quick demo video for you for your custom etched brass flagship that you had me redo. It had a nasty install in it from some guy, I don't know who. Actually, it was mine. So we took that out, put a brand new install in, but this time we went with Proffie instead of a CFX. Still a 2-button setup. We'll go over my desk, take a look at this. I'll bag this up with your coda and get them both out in the mail to you tomorrow. All right, thanks. All right, Preston, we've got your brass flagship here, your custom flagship that you had bought, I believe, off eBay. You said you won a bid for this guy. And this was a Mandalorian etch, right? Mandalorian etch. This was called, at the time, the guy who did this, a double etch or a triple etch. I can't remember which one of these it was. I think this was like a double etch. He was calling it. How I know that is because, as you know, because we had spoke about it in some PMs and I said it on my post, this saber actually belonged to me years and years ago. I think a little over 5 years ago. This was one of the first sabers that I had bought for myself, first custom saber. I'd always wanted an etched saber. I just thought they were so cool, man. I went and found somebody at the time who was doing etches. I commissioned this saber. Ultimately, though, you know, some things happened. It wasn't the best experience for me, but that was just, you know, that is what it is. But I had decided to hang on to this until I knew how to install sabers, and then I would just install this and sell it, no big deal. I specifically remember holding on to this guy and thinking to myself, someday I'm going to install this, right? So since then, I think I've done about 1,800 sabers or so. This is my old chassis that was in it. So Solo Sabers over here. It has the name of the business on the other side, but I'm gonna leave it like this. CFX install. If this chassis could talk, it would have some stories to tell. This is one of my very first chassis. I think I got a little bit of hot glue in there, holding that down. My apologies for that. So these are the speakers. I used to get my 28mm speakers off of eBay, I think, or Amazon. So that's what this guy is right here. Very, very old. I'll probably put this with my little archive of old chassis that come back my way. I like to kind of save those. But yeah, a few wires showing here. I was all about the open wire passages back there. So, old guy right there. That's what I took out of it. All right, so I did pop off the dual tactile switch. So this is an old dual tactile switch from my buddy Robert Sotomayor. He does them a lot differently these days. I didn't know him back then when I bought this from him. It's just, you know, a blast from the past all the way around. So what I did was I popped this back out. I took the wires off of the switches because I was using silicone wires back then. I rewired them with some PTFE and then put it back in. All right, so top switch here will be power, bottom switch will be auxiliary. All right, I swapped out your lit Neopixel connector with a brand new KR Sabers lit PCB. So that's what you've got there now. You've got the same blade retention, which is right here. I'm not going to use it for the demo, but it's right there and it works fine. All right, this is your chassis retention. Probably didn't need to even use that because I made it a pretty tight press fit, but went ahead and used it anyway. All right, to get to your chassis, you just want to unscrew your handle. This is what the new one looks like. So hopefully you like that one a little bit better. All right, we've got a removable battery setup right here. So spring side over here for the negative side of your battery, please. This right here, it'll snap right in. Let's turn this off. I was doing some testing. This is a Keep Power protected cell 18650. I just like to take the stickers off of mine. So that's what you'll need to grab. All right, put that in there. You've got your kill switch right there in front of the board. This now is a 28mm Smuggler's Outpost Elite speaker, so it sounds really good. Your Proffie board right here, it is a extremely tight snap fit down into the shelf. I did not glue it. All right, but you can get to your SD card from right here. This is how I programmed the board. I just came over here with a pair of tweezers, grabbed that SD card out, put it back. I could get to my micro USB slot with a 90-degree data cable, and everything's good to go there. I did take all of the sound fonts that you had on your CFX, transferred them over to here. It was quite an extensive venture. I think you had about 30 of them. I don't typically do that, but I told you that I would, so I did. All right, so flip the switch. All right, we'll go ahead and put this back on. Screw this all the way down tight. There you go. Hit power. Nice smooth swing. Auxiliary down here. And twist off if you like. If you don't want to use twist off, just tap the power switch. That also works. All right, and then to go to the next sound font, we'll just tap auxiliary. Nice and loud sound, very crisp. This does hold a 1-inch blade. So if I took a 1-inch blade and put it in here, I'm just gonna hold it in for now because I'm not using that blade retention, but if I hit power, lights up a blade very well, all right?
Jedi, prepare for death. The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Now, I'm going to take the blade out. Let's talk about your colors. I did try to match all of the colors correctly with the particular sound font, right? So if you just hold it up and you tap auxiliary, you'll move up in the sound font menu. If you want to go back in the sound font menu, hold it upside down and hit auxiliary.
The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
That's the one I wanted, right? So we'll hit power. Notice your blue, we want it green, so we're going to hold auxiliary and tap power. And you can twist this all around until you find the appropriate color. We're looking for green here. Right there. When you find the color you like, hit power. That locked it in. All right, so now, when we turn it back on, we got a green blade. All right, now we'll cycle through a few of the others.
Always two there are. I've been trained in your legacy. This party's over.
Don't insult me.
Well, you look like a small rip. Second sister. He's been working on that thing.
I'm never touching that thing.
You ever hear? Traitor! General Monday. What is thy bidding? Our time. The Force will be with you. Always.
I have no idea where we are at because I'm not counting the sound fonts, but you have a nice mixture, I think, of Kyberphonic and KSIF fonts on here, and everything's working as it should. All right, there is a copy on the config file of the there's a copy of the config file on the SD card in case you ever want to make any changes. All right, so we'll turn this on one more time. Come over here and flip the switch and it kills power like it should. And then from the positive side of the battery over here by your speaker, you can pop your battery out like that. All right, but that, sir, is your redone Flagship. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will get this out to you in the mail tomorrow. I'm going to box this up with your coda. I'm going to put it in the same box and get these out together. All right, thanks, man.